If you like to talk about combat sports and you want to join the discussion, click the subscribe button below and the bell notification icon next to it and join Knucklehead Nation. What's going on, Knuckleheads? This is our Tyson Fury versus Otto Wallin Wallin Reaction Discussion video live, and my goodness, what a fight this was. This was a big surprise from the little known Otto Wallin, an undefeated fighter out of Sweden, 20-0 before tonight, but nonetheless unknown, probably just a domestic level guy who came into this fight inspired by the passing of his father, no doubt, and just put an absolute war on with Tyson Fury. Definitely in the first half of the fight, and even a little bit in the end of the fight. In the first half of the fight, I mean, you can tell this guy, Otto Wallin, nicknamed All In, was really serious about this. He was all in, and a lot of guys talk the talk, but my goodness, this young man was walking the walk. At the weigh-in, just the way he was looking and talking back to Tyson, he looked like a guy that was determined and felt that he was supposed to be there. He looked like a confident fighter at the weigh-in, and I wasn't sure if it would translate because I felt that Tom Schwartz was also very confident, but he got wiped out. But that was not the case with Otto Wallin, who went in there and made the first half of this fight ugly and fought Tyson Fury, ironically, Mexican style. And I say ironically because Tyson Fury's the one that came into the ring honoring the Mexican fighters with the sombrero and with the parka on, with the Mexican colors and the Mexican flag, and doing it because we're basically really close to Mexican Independence Day or somewhere around that time of year. But very, very smart fight by Otto Wallin to kind of smother Tyson Fury and keep him close and in front of him, and almost fight on the inside. I mean, it wasn't exactly inside fighting, but it was in Wallin's range, who had a much shorter reach than Tyson Fury, and just a very smart, a very educated game plan from Otto Wallin, who, like the commentators were saying, kept his feet under him, was jabbing away. But what I saw was he was inside on Tyson. He was smothering him a bit, and that seemed to really bother Tyson. And at the very beginning of the fight, he landed a nice little left hook, a little short left hook on Tyson Fury that completely split open Tyson Fury's eyebrow. I mean, it was disgusting. You could see the meat on the inside, and people were talking about this fight might be stopped. And the first half of the fight was super competitive, but Tyson Fury knew that he had to turn it on. He had to turn this on because the referee could potentially look at that cut and basically, call the fight and call it in favor of Otto Wallin. So Tyson Fury, man, had to adjust, and basically he then went Mexican style, attacking Wallin, occasionally going to the body and hurting him with the big hook to the liver, and taking over the second half of the fight. But the drama didn't stop there. In the 12th round, just when you thought Tyson was running away from it, Wallin lands a combination and hurts Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury, at this point, gassed, really looked to be in danger for a minute there and just powered through it. And my goodness, what an entertaining fight for the heavyweight division. What a fantastic performance by Otto Wallin, who was a relative unknown before tonight, and tonight really announced his name on the world stage. Put it this way, Otto Wallin won more rounds in this fight, if you ask me, Then Deontay Wilder won against Tyson Fury. And he's a different kind of fighter. He doesn't have the one-punch knockout power Deontay Wilder does. Nobody does. But he's strong enough to keep people honest, and he hurt Tyson Fury in there tonight. And he fought on the inside. If he keeps fighting that way and owns, or rather hones that style, Wallin could be a problem for just about any heavyweight. Good on him. You know, I'm actually very happy that the guy had the performance he had, because it livens up the heavyweight division. It adds another fighter to the mix. Could this guy actually be that good of a heavyweight, or did he just have a great night? Who knows, knuckleheads? But to me, I mean, he looked like the real deal in there against Tyson Fury. He went 12 rounds with him. And Wallin, you know, didn't do a bad job. It was a very solid performance by Wallin. I was very impressed. And, you know, he fought smart. He fought on the inside. And he may have laid out a blueprint for somebody who's capable of smothering and fighting on the inside to beat Tyson Fury. I thought it was a very, very smart fight that Wallin fought, and definitely raised his stock in this fight. As far as Fury goes, man, he showed a lot of heart getting over that cut, which was a huge cut, and fighting through, and then getting hurt. It looked like he got hurt in the 12th round, and fighting through that. That's not to say he didn't hurt Wallin as well. I believe it was in the 11th round. He landed a nasty liver punch on Wallin that really hurt him. But Wallin kept coming. You know, he kept coming. He kept fighting. You know, there was a lot of heart on display tonight. And it was fitting, considering they were basically celebrating Mexican Independence Day. Another thing that I thought was controversial and strange, maybe I'm wrong about this, was the fact that Tyson Fury's team seemed to have been under the impression that the cut was caused, the original big cut on his brow was caused by a headbutt from Wallin, when in fact it was caused by a punch. And I thought that it was kind of weird that the broadcasting team actually sent one of their guys to Tyson Fury's corner to ask them if they knew that it was actually caused by a punch as opposed to a headbutt. I thought that was I thought that was strange. I thought it was weird that the Nevada State Athletic Commission wouldn't communicate that to Tyson's corner, that they would communicate that to the broadcast team, that the broadcast team would know, but Tyson Fury's corner wouldn't. And I think that's very strange, especially considering what's at stake, that the fight could be stopped if it's from a punch as opposed to a headbutt in Wallin's favor, is what it sounded like. And then on top of it, I thought it was really weird that the broadcast team actually kind of like went to Tyson Fury's corner to basically let the cat out the bag and let them know, hey, that was caused, according to the Nevada State Athletic Commission, by a punch, and this fight can be stopped. Is this going to change the way you guys fight? It was almost like the broadcasting team was giving advice to the Tyson Fury corner there. So I thought that was kind of weird. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the fight. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what happened there. Before I turn it over to you guys, I just had to cover this fight. I didn't do the preview prediction. I would have definitely predicted Tyson Fury to win. I think he's the best heavyweight out there. But before I turn it over to hear what you guys have to say, be sure, if you're anywhere near Southern California, get your tickets to Fighters Rep 8 right here, September 21st. That's next Saturday at fightersrep.com. And if you're outside the country, you just can't make it, and you want to watch the best stand and bang action available, all striking, no clinching, no holding, be sure to tune in right to the YouTube channel right here. It's at basically 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to be airing the fights live right here on YouTube. So let's see what we've got going on right here. Give me a second. Looks like the chat is not cooperating at this point. Oh, there it is. So we've got a gentleman by the name of Dre Berry in the chat room. Dre, thank you so much for joining the chat. And Dre is writing that Tyson Fury is a joke. I don't know if Tyson Fury is a joke. I'm going to have to disagree. I think he's probably the best or one of the best heavyweights in the world right now. I would rank him number one. And then Dre Berry has written after that, man, Wallin is not no damn Deontay Wilder. Again, I'm not sure the reading comprehension skills are on point here for this viewer. Nobody said that Wallin is Deontay Wilder, but thank you so much for sort of taking what I said, morphing it into an alternate reality, and then spewing it back into the chat. It's much appreciated. Dre Berry then wrote, no, Fury is just a joke. It looks like Dre is extremely upset about the fact that Tyson Fury is a good heavyweight. We have another message. Thank you so much from Theo Sundin. Thank you for joining the chat. And Theo's asking, how much did Wallin make for this fight? Theo, that's an interesting question. I don't know, but whatever he made for this fight, I think he's going to have to earn significantly more for the next fight, because that was just a really solid performance from a guy that we didn't expect to perform in that fashion, especially considering that, even though he's undefeated, he hasn't really fought on the world level the way Tyson Fury has, and for as long as Tyson Fury has. So for him to go in there and give the lineal champ a fight like that was a fantastic performance. Let's see how much they end up paying the guy, and let's see what he gets from here on out. I'd be interested to see him mix it up with some of the other heavyweights. He may be a contender. We may just have another heavyweight contender on the horizon. Temple Muay Thai just joined the fight, a fantastic Muay Thai team. Thank you so much, Temple, for joining the fight. I appreciate you. And they wrote, I agree, Fury is a top dog right now. Absolutely. I mean, the consensus is that we've got Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Andy Ruiz, and then we've also got Anthony Joshua. If you're asking me, I'll throw Dillian White into that mix. I think Dillian White is a bad dude. Other guys I think on the cusp are probably Joseph Parker, especially if he can get by Derek Chisora. If Chisora gets by Parker, then, he's knocking at the door again, even though he's been stopped twice by Dillian White and beaten twice, or not stopped, but beaten twice by Dillian White, beaten twice by Tyson Fury. But, Chisora's always a dog in there, so, I mean, he's fun to watch. The heavyweight division, for sure, is interesting. We've also got Luis Ortiz in the mix. He's going to be taking on Deontay Wilder next in what could be another dangerous fight, but, considering the fact that Ortiz is not getting younger and already lost to Wilder by knockout, I don't think that that's going to go over too well for Ortiz. But in case you guys are just joining the chat right now, Tyson Fury and Otto Wallin had a fantastic fight. It's Otto all in Wallin, and he was all in tonight, putting up a much more impressive performance than many people expected from him, hurting Tyson Fury in the 12th round and making the fight competitive in the first 6 rounds, creating a huge cut on Tyson Fury's eyebrow that, basically jeopardized the fight for Fury for a while there. A lot of people, I think, including myself, were worried, hey, this fight might get stopped if, Tyson Fury doesn't do something to defend that eyebrow, or if it's bad enough, the doctor might step in and stop the fight. So, Otto Wallin coming out of nowhere and, throwing his name in the bag of legitimate heavyweight contenders, I think, and great performance by him. Oh, and you know what? Another thing I wanted to talk about. Otto Wallin, man, he came in there to win by any means necessary. At one point, the referee was breaking Tyson Fury and Otto Wallin up, and this was after the cut was already open. And Wallin reached over and kind of dragged his glove along Tyson Fury's ripped eyebrow. Man, ruthless. Ruthless guy. And you know what? A lot of people won't like it. They'll say it's bad sportsmanship. But what I loved about it was this dude had a dog in him, man. And he wanted to win by any means necessary. This guy wanted to win. And I just, you got to give him that. He was there to win. He wasn't there to bend over or bow down to anybody. And man, that was an awesome performance by Wallin. We've got David Griffiths in the chat now. Thank you so much, David, for joining the chat. David is writing, Tyson Fury was lucky not to be stopped with that cut. I was cheering for Wallin, and I'm from the UK. David, my goodness. Well, you know, he was sort of lucky that the fight wasn't stopped, but obviously it was the right decision considering he did earn the victory in the fight. You know, I think it would have been horrible for them to stop the fight considering that Fury was still fresh and fighting and throwing punches and doing a great job in the fight. You know, I think it would have been pretty disastrous had they stopped the fight in favor of Wallin. But yeah, I mean, I think if there wasn't so much at stake, another referee in another fight in some alternate universe would have probably thought about stopping that fight. I mean, because that cut was nasty. Pablo, 123, thank you so much for joining the chat, Pablo. Much appreciated. Pablo 123 wrote, Wilder would have quit. Fury is a warrior. Well, you know, that may be true or it may not. If I'm being honest with you, Pablo, I think Wilder is also a warrior. I mean, I've seen Wilder wobbled in a lot of his fights. We saw what he had to go through to beat Ortiz. We saw what, you know, when he got wobbled by Drummer Boy, that other Mexican heavyweight that's also a school teacher. He got wobbled by him. I mean, Wilder's been wobbled by a lot of people. And if you ask me, Wilder is losing a lot of the fights that he's in until he lands a big power shot, including the Tyson Fury fight. So, you know, he's got to have a lot of heart to have that style that he has, because he's always seemingly like behind on the scorecards or losing, at least to somebody who's watching the fight, and then he pulls the victory out with a massive punch. I mean, I think, you know, he is a warrior. He's gone through some stuff too, and I respect Deontay Wilder. He is a warrior. Pablo123 also writes, Fury in the past 3 fights has shown skill, power, and now heart. He has everything. Most fighters would quit. You know, Pablo, I think that's a good thing that you're saying that, and I think to a Western audience, you know, that's true. Now he has shown heart. But, you know, if you've been following Tyson Fury's career, you know the guy has heart. You know the guy can fight. He definitely has skill. You know, I think the thing that stands out the most about him is his skill, especially for his size and his, like, coordination and athleticism. His power, I think, is so-so. You know, I think he definitely has enough power to hurt guys and keep them off him. But he's not like this massive one-punch knockout artist. But he definitely has power. And his heart, you know, you definitely can't question the guy's heart. I mean, he's never lost. When he does get behind on a fight, he goes for it. When he feels like something's going to happen that may cost him the fight, he goes for it. And, you know, we saw that as far back as when he fought Steve Cunningham, who he just couldn't do anything against from a boxing standpoint. And we saw him just, you know, press Cunningham and go after him. And, you know, I thought it took a lot of heart to do that. You know, he got dropped by Cunningham. He got up off the canvas, you know, and that was a brutal knockdown. He got up off the canvas and, you know, beat the shit out of Cunningham and basically ended the fight. Same thing with Wilder. Let's not forget he got dropped twice. So, I mean, you know, we really can't question Fury's heart at this point. We've got Theo Sundin writing some more comments. Thank you again for joining the chat, Theo. Is the next matchup Fury versus Wilder? Is the question. You know what? Yes, but that's assuming Deontay Wilder gets past Luis Ortiz, which was hellfire and brimstone for Deontay Wilder the last time they fought. That was not an easy fight for Deontay Wilder the last time out. Of course, Luis Ortiz gassed out. His legs gave out on him because he's an older fighter. But and he's just going to be older by the time this rematch comes along. But still, it's a tough fight. If Luis Ortiz can make some adjustments, or land a good punch, he can hurt Wilder, which he's shown. And he can beat Wilder if he lands a good punch. This is the heavyweight division, and nobody's invincible. As we saw today, even Tyson Fury got hurt really bad today in the 12th round. After basically regaining control in the second half of the fight, he got hit by a couple shots, and he was on Queer Street there in the final round. This guy, Wallin, a little bit more power, maybe a little bit more experience and accuracy. A guy like Wallin could have finished him or at least put him down again. So yeah, after Fury, or rather after Wilder takes on Ortiz, then yeah, what's next in 2020 is my understanding, February of 2020, is Fury versus Wilder, the fight that everybody wants to see. And I'm also very excited about Andy Ruiz versus AJ, Anthony Joshua. If Andy Ruiz, or rather whoever wins between Ruiz and Joshua, and then Wilder and Fury would be, I guess, fighting each other, and that would be a fantastic. That's something I would love to watch. The winner of Fury and Wilder versus the winner of Ruiz and Joshua. Man, it's an exciting time for the heavyweight division and for boxing, and I think as fight fans, we should all be really excited about it. Theo Sundin, and the winner from that gets Ruiz or Joshua. Is exactly what I was saying. This is, we're in fantasy land right now as boxing fans, man. This is awesome. We got Ruiz, Joshua, Fury, Wilder. You've got guys like Dillian White. Now maybe this Wallin kid is pretty good. Maybe he continues to develop and gets better. And, who knows? Who knows where we go from here? So, yeah, man, exciting times for the heavyweight division and for boxing. Olu Odutola, thank you so much for joining the chat, my man. Olu's saying, great analysis. Keep it up. Hey, thank you so much, guys. Hey, if you guys like to talk about combat sports, if you guys like, to watch combat sports, interviews, whatever, be sure to subscribe below. Hit the subscribe button. Also, please feel free to donate in the super chat or purchase your Fighters Rep gear from the links in the description. All the proceeds, or rather the majority of the proceeds, are reinvested right back into Fighters Rep promotions. We're airing our fights live on YouTube. Our next card, Fighters Rep 8, September 21st. That's next Saturday. We're going to be airing it live on YouTube. We've got some really talented people on the card. Over 15 fights booked right now. So definitely check it out if you have a chance. And, if you're anywhere near California, you get your tickets at fightersrep.com. Temple Muay Thai wrote, with age brings patience and the power is there. I think even as an older fighter, he's got a shot. He definitely has a shot, and obviously Temple's talking about Luis Ortiz. He definitely has a shot, and with age brings patience. But my man, he was already old in the last fight, and he's just going to get older. And it's not boding well for him. It's definitely not boding well for him to get older and fight a guy in Deontay Wilder who's just going to get better, I think, at least for the time being, and already knocked him out in the past. Arik, thank you so much for joining the chat, my man. I really appreciate it. Arik wrote, ouch. Believe me, these two cuts will not heal till February. You know what, Arik? You might be right about that. Those were some nasty cuts, man. You could see his brain through the one on top. That was That was absolutely disgusting, my dude. Um, that was really gross. Swaggy Taggy 420, thank you so much for joining the chat, my man. I really appreciate what you're saying. Your contribution is fantastic. Konaski, Joe Joyce, Dubois, Hergovich, Yoker, Usyk. Basically, Swaggy's telling us about all these heavyweights that are coming up. All these heavyweights that he's mentioning are fantastic prospects for sure. Some of them not even prospects anymore, like Konaski. A guy like Kalnaski, or a guy, I think Joe Joyce, man, I think that guy's a problem. I think that guy can beat anybody. Daniel Dubois up there. Hergovich looks good. Kalnaski looks good. Usyk, let's see what he can do at heavyweight. I mean, he's gonna be kind of the blown up cruiserweight of the division. He might end up being like the Holyfield of the division. But let's see. Let's see. Tekun Olam, thank you, my brother, for joining the chat. Much appreciated. Saying those cuts were bad. Yes, they were. Those cuts were disgusting, dude. That was not good, my man. Swaggy Taggy writing it again. Heavyweight could be very golden if the right fights get made, stacked with talent, but fighters very protected. I agree with that, my man. It's a real shame what they do to the heavyweight division. Or rather, what happens in boxing with all the different promoters. That's the problem with boxing, and that's why that's where the UFC has an advantage as a monopoly, right? Because the best have to fight the best, and everybody's fighting for the UFC. But with boxing, you've got all these different promoters. Everybody's got a say, and one doesn't want to work with the other. So, you may not ever get the fights that you want to see. Swaggy's Taggy also said stacked with talent, but fighters are very protected. Absolutely. That's the boxing culture, something I've been working against, something I always call out. I hate the fact that the best don't fight the best. That doesn't happen at our promotion. We're unified rules kickboxing promotion, fighters rep. I put people in there evenly, man. You're evenly matched. If you're fighting for me, you've got a chance to win. You've got a chance to lose. And I think that's the way combat sports should be. And that's why I appreciate what the UFC has done. And that's why they've grown so fast in such a short period of time relative to boxing. Tekun Olam is saying, Swaggy. True, but sadly it's not like that. The powers that be won't allow it. Yes, the powers that be don't allow a lot of stuff in the game of boxing. So, yeah, and then Swaggy Taggy is saying, I dream of a heavyweight world boxing super series. I'm not sure we'll ever see that, my man. Joshua Cotto, thank you so much for joining the chat, saying great fight. It was a fun fight. It was a fun fight, man. We've been seeing some fun heavyweight fights lately, and this one was no different. Shazam, Fury has heart, serious heart, absolutely, and I think if you've been watching Fury's career, you know that he's got heart. I mean, what he had to go through to earn a draw with Deontay Wilder, the Stephen Cunningham fight, those fights immediately come to mind. It took a lot of heart for Fury to get through those fights. Swaggy Taggy, yeah, more than prospects, now fringe world level. Yoker still has a while to go. Absolutely, those guys you named, Swaggy, are all talented guys, man. All very talented guys. Tekun is saying, no problem. I subbed, man. Hey, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Guys, please, if you want to continue to discuss combat sports, we do predictions every Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific time. And we go live after every big fight, immediately after every big fight, within minutes. So, definitely tune in here. If you guys ever want to talk about the fights, this is an objective boxing channel. I don't play favorites. I don't care where the guy's from. I don't care where you guys are from. I just want to talk about combat sports. And if you're a like-minded person, then definitely subscribe below. Also, feel free to donate to the chat. The majority of the proceeds get reinvested right back into the promotion that you guys are helping me build in Fighters Rep, where we've got the best young strikers in the world. You could tune in and watch the fights live on Saturday, September 21st, if you're nowhere near Southern California. If you are, get your tickets at fightersrep.com. Also, it's much appreciated if you guys can just donate $1 even to the super chat. It's always appreciated if you like what you hear, of course. So, Takun is saying, I think if this was Wilder versus Fury 2, Fury would have been KO'd by the 5th round, in my humble opinion. Well, Takun, on that I'll have to disagree on, because Wilder does not fight the way... Let's remember, styles do make fights. Wilder does not fight the way Wallin fought. Wallin's fighting style, that inside fighting style, is problematic. It's hard. I've sparred people like that. It's very difficult to deal with. And what he was doing to Tyson Fury was something that nobody's been able to do to Tyson Fury. Smother him and fight him hard on the inside like that. It was very much Mexican style, which I thought, again, was coincidental, considering that they were celebrating Mexican Independence Day at this fight. And it was something that Fury had a hard time dealing with. And the way he dealt with it which was to basically brawl back and brawl his way out of that short-range fight, was exactly what Fury had to do. He showed a lot of intelligence and a lot of heart, but that's not something Wilder can do. Wilder cannot fight you on the inside. If you go inside on Wilder, he might be useless, Wilder needs range. Wilder needs that middle or long range so he can hit you with the big power shots. That's how Wilder will beat you. Wilder's not going to box you on the inside. Shazam, Wilder has freakish power. Fury has the most skill and heart of the whole group. Joshua's awesome as well, but AJ seems to have lost some of his rawness to his detriment. And Wilder has good heart too. We can't question Wilder's heart, man. He's been beat up all over that ring by certain guys and just comes back and knocks them out. So you got to give Wilder a lot of credit for heart too. Shazam also said he has tried to become a boxer since Klitschko putting the Savage away, but it is not really working for him. AJ needs to find his hunger and his inner Savage. I think AJ, does have a little bit of savagery in him. I think what happened with AJ was, again, he fought a shorter guy on the inside. When he tried to finish Ruiz, he got too close and he got clipped and he just couldn't recover. My prediction for the AJ fight is he actually wins the rematch. A lot of people think I'm crazy, but I think after he dropped Ruiz in that fight, had he stayed on the outside and not fought on the inside, he would have won that fight. The reason he lost was he went on the inside against a guy with faster hands and shorter arms, and he shouldn't have done that. He should have stayed far away from Andy Ruiz. Usyk is a complete unknown factor, but I personally think he's too small to compete with the elite big boys. I agree with that. I think Usyk is too small. I think he has the skill, though, to give them problems, so we'll have to see how he does. Swaggy's telling Takun, Fury didn't look as agile tonight as he did against Wilder and Schwartz. I think I heard he came in heavier. Think he still needs to find that perfect weight because he took a lot of punches. I agree. I didn't think he looked very agile tonight at all. I agree with you there, Swaggy. Mihailo Mikel, thank you so much for joining the chat, brother. He wrote, Fury is much better when he's fighting an aggressive fighter like Wilder. His style is based on that. Today he had to be aggressive himself instead of his typical slip and slide style and countering. And Mihailo, that's because he was dealing with a guy that was smothering him, fighting him on the inside. I'm not sure if anybody noticed that, but man, Otto Wallin was short range. He was short range. He was smothering him. He was walking him down, and he was cutting the ring off, and he was making it uncomfortable. And he was going to the body. He wasn't giving him a chance to slip and slide because he's going to the body. So I thought that was a really smart game plan by Wallin. At least that's what I saw. Tell me if you guys agree. Shazam saying, I agree. Fury lost weight, looked a little light on strength. I think he would have to beef up a little bit before Wilder. I think he needs to work on his cardio, or rather getting shredded. I mean, I don't know how you could be a heavyweight. He's still very flabby. I know he gained a lot of weight, but even before he gained a lot of weight and went on his drug, whatever he did, the coke and all that stuff for a couple years, I think he needs to be ripped. I mean, he needs to get a nutritionist. He needs to figure it out. He should put on maybe some more muscle and really, get that fat off of him because it's slowing him down. I also think Fury needs to work out those legs, man. Those legs are like chicken legs. Chicken legs big time. Let's see. What else we got? True Mahalo. Yeah, and he was boxing dirty with the eye gouges and the tie-ups. Mahalo saying it's the same thing what happened to AJ. He couldn't fight inside fight. Yeah, man. I mean, these guys these big guys need to learn how to fight on the inside when they're getting tested by these shorter heavyweights on the inside. They're failing. They're failing, and that's how to beat them. That's how to beat these big long guys. And somebody needs to figure that out. Swaggy saying, very happy I stayed up to watch that, though. Very exciting to watch live. The ref doctor could have stopped at any point. Yeah, man. I mean, that kind of added to, like, the intensity of the fight. Was like, man, is this going to get stopped? Like, it was suspenseful. So, I really enjoyed that. Shazam saying, Wilder's style is easy for Tyson to deal with. He fights orthodox. Wallin was southpaw, and it was tricky. But as soon as he got cut, he went on the inside. And that is a sign of a boxer. That's the sign of a fighter, too. Again, Wallin was inside on him. He knew the only way to get out of there was to brawl his way back, man. To brawl him back off of him. He was inside, man. Tekun Olam, he needs that elastic energy. Not sure what you mean by that, brother. Gregory Sams, yeah. He will win from the outside. Gregory, thanks for joining the chat, my man. Swaggy saying, I think Usyk beats everyone at heavyweight except Fury, but will be exciting for sure. Wow, Swaggy, you don't think Usyk is too small? That's what I worry about for the guy. I feel like he's too small. Wallin was on Fury like white on rice. Made me think about how Ruiz would fare against Fury. Tyson took a lot of punches with Ruiz's speed. Tyson would have eaten at least double that amount. That is an interesting fight. And Ruiz would be fighting him Mexican style, the same way he did against Joshua, because that's the only way he's going to be able to with that massive 85-inch reach. And I do think Ruiz would give anybody problems because he's a shorter heavyweight with such fast hands and apparently power from what he demonstrated against Anthony Joshua. Talk about it. Thank you so much for joining the chat, brother. Wilder KO Fury tonight. Fury has no power. Well, I don't know if Fury has no power. I would disagree with that. I think he's got enough power to keep guys off of him. Does he have one punch knockout power? Typically, I don't think so. But he definitely has enough power to keep guys off him. And he hurt Wallin several times tonight. When you're 6'9", 240, 250 pounds, whatever it is, just the leverage that comes with that, it's going to hurt you. You're going to get hurt. I don't care who he is. If your mother is 6'9", right, and she weighs 240 pounds and she swings with one of those 85-inch, reach arms on you, it's going to hurt. I'm not saying he has Wilder KO power, but he definitely has some power. Shazam is saying, I think AJ wins the rematch with Ruiz. It'll be really tough, but he should win if he stays patient. Ruiz should not be underestimated. Wilder would enjoy fighting Ruiz stylistic, as would Fury. Yeah, I mean, those are all interesting matchups, man. The heavyweight division is really a lot of fun right now, and I hope they could make all these fights. I don't care. People shouldn't care so much about winning or losing. They should just make these fights, honor these fighters for getting in the ring with each other, and then we'd get these fights instead of these people trying so hard as promoters to keep guys undefeated. How much better off would we be if people just enjoyed the fighters and enjoyed the fact that they were fighting and not be so obsessed with who the winner and who the loser was? I think that would be fantastic for the sport of boxing, man. The boxing needs it. All this fake, undefeated BS that's going on in boxing has been a real detriment to the sport. Shazam, AJ tries to fight short guys as a short man. He can't do that. That's true. That's true, man. If AJ would have stayed on the outside after that knockdown, he may have finished that fight. He lost that fight because he went on the attack, short range against Ruiz, and gave him the opportunity to land those massive counter hooks. Gregory Sams, you're welcome. Thank you, man. Gregory Sams saying Usyk mad skill, but maybe a bit undersized for top big heavyweights. I agree, man. I agree. It's no joke when you're in there against a guy that's 6'9", 6'7". These are giants. And these are giants that can move and that can punch and that have athleticism and speed, and not fun, man. Not fun when you're a naturally smaller guy. You know, Usyk, cruiserweight. I mean, cruiserweight for boxing is 200 pounds. You're going to be 200 pounds. You're going to go up against a guy that's 250, 260? Dude, if you get hit once, it's over. It's over. Swaggy, whereas smaller guys like Ruiz and Usyk have been doing that their whole life, let's not forget Usyk won Olympic gold at heavyweight. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But, you know, Olympic heavyweight boxing is, again, Olympic boxing, right? It's about hit and don't get hit. That style doesn't convert 100% to professional boxing, where it's try to knock the dude out. You know, Deontay Wilder lands a punch on a guy that's 200 pounds like Usyk, and it's bad. It's a bad thing. Shazam, heavyweight division is on fire, my man. Hell yeah, Shazam, big time, brother. Talk about it. Wilder was 209. Next time he'll be 225, 230. Fury looked hittable tonight. Wilder jab would land. Well, Wilder is 209. But you know, Wilder's 6'6", freak of nature, 209. You know, with massive power. Cruiserweight is 200, man, and Usyk is not built like Wilder. You know, he's maybe 6'3", 6'4" tops. Usyk, man, if Usyk gets hit with a punch from Wilder or by Ortiz or something, I mean, we're talking, I don't know, we're talking a devastating. I think it could be a devastating consequence. I mean, it was like Holyfield, you know, when he was fighting the big guys like Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis and stuff like that. You know, I think it's going to be analogous to that for Usyk. Swaggy Taggy saying, apologies for terrible spelling. It's 7 a.m. here. Where is it 7 a.m., Swaggy? Are you across the pond, brother? It's all good. We're not the grammar spelling police. We don't care about that stuff. We just care about combat sports, my man, and talking about it and having a good time, maybe some whiskey or whatever, and some beers and watching the fights. So don't worry about your spelling. I'm not going to, lower your YouTube grade or anything like that. You're going to be just fine. Gregory Sams, LOL. Shazam, I don't think Wilder takes care of Ortiz reasonably comfortably. Ortiz is older. Last time he was in public, he seemed like he was really interested in earning a pretty penny. I like Wilder for Ortiz. Yeah, I mean, Wilder's probably going to just knock him out, I think that's what's going to happen again. Ortiz was already been over the hill when he fought Wilder the first time. He's only going to get older. I don't know. I just don't see anything in Ortiz that makes me think he's going to give us a different result. Gregory Sams, you think Wilder finishes Ortiz again, or can Ortiz hand speed make the difference? If Ortiz can have the endurance to Gregory, man, I think Wilder finishes Ortiz again. Unless Ortiz comes to survive, then Wilder wins a decision maybe. I don't know. I just think he's too old. And I think he's already been cracked by Wilder once, and it's probably going to happen again. Shazam, Wilder wins the rematch pretty easy with Ortiz. Maybe. Probably. That's probably the best outcome. That's probably the best prediction. Swaggy, unified at 200 pounds. I think Usyk will do just fine, my man. I see Wilder being picked apart by Wilder and utterly outclassed by Usyk. Don't underestimate Papaloma. You're right about that. I mean, a guy like Usyk, as long as he can stay defensive, which he's got good, he's got good skills, he could potentially beat anybody. I just feel like he's still at a different weight class against these guys, and that could be detrimental. Gregory Sams, yeah, probably. Swaggy Taggy, best trainer in the game, my opinion. Also, first time watching. Love the discussion. Thank you so much, my man. Hey, we do this after every big fight. And I predict the fights Thursdays at 9 p.m. We even did this after the Cowboy Cerrone fight today. I don't know if you guys caught that. Another great fight. But yeah, subscribe to the channel. Feel free to donate to the super chat. I tell everybody, even if you just donate $1, I'm going to reinvest the majority of the proceeds into our promotion. Fighters Rep 8 is going down on Saturday. It's Fighters Rep Promotions. It's my brand. I'm building it. It's all striking. It's basically unified rules kickboxing here in Southern California. We got the most talented young fighters in the world here, and I'm just trying to build it up. So, if you guys donate anything or purchase shirts in the links below, the majority of the proceeds are reinvested right back into the promotion. And you guys basically have a hand in helping me build this amazing promotion. I've actually got Anderson Silva's son fighting for me on this next show, which is crazy. It's happening on Saturday. And it'll be aired live right here on YouTube. Demi Lay, thank you so much for joining the chat, Demi. No one beats Fury unless they knock Fury clean out. And what are the chances of that happening? If Deontay Wilder couldn't do it with that two-piece that he landed clean, it's going to be very hard for anybody to beat Tyson Fury. So, for now, I agree. I agree that nobody can beat Fury. And nobody's knocking Fury out. Excuse me. Nobody's going to knock Fury out if Deontay Wilder can't knock Fury out. Although this guy today hurt him. So I don't know. You never know. Gregory Sams, yeah, old he is, Ortiz. Yeah, man. Ortiz too old, dude. He's not going to beat Wilder. I mean, there's a chance because it's boxing. But he's an older guy. Swaggy, picked apart by Usyk. I need to go to bed. FS, I need to go to bed. Have a good night, my man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys joining the chat. Gregory Sams, yes, I'll be back and we'll be following you. Thank you, guys. Before you head out, please subscribe below. It's also getting a little bit late here. And, man, we've already been on this chat for almost 50 minutes. So, I'm going to do like Swaggy and Gregory fight. Let's see what Gregory's saying. You watched the Munguia fight. You think he will go to 160? I'm not sure. I didn't even watch the Munguia fight. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the Munguia fight. I know he's a good fighter, but I didn't watch it tonight. I was watching the UFC fights, and then I flipped over and I caught the Fury fight. Native Latinos F Trump with a hamburger. What are you talking about? Dante Wilder knocked down Fury twice. Yes, that's what we said here. That's what we said here. So I don't know what you're talking about there, Native Latinos. Demi, but he a gypsy. He would fight with no eyes. He would need knocking out. Probably. He's so tough. You're going to have to kill him, basically, in the ring to finish the guy. I mean, the guy's a killer. Shazam. I think Wilder in the first fight was too anxious, and he spent a lot of energy in the early rounds, plus his anxiety grew because he was getting schooled. He'll be better in a rematch, but so Fury. Yeah, but, I mean, if you watch Wilder fight, he always loses the boxing match. And then he comes back at the end with a big punch and wins the fight. So it's just, typical of Deontay Wilder, to be losing the fight and then win the fight with a big punch. I mean, I feel like that's the pattern in his career. That's why I worry about him, because how long is that going to keep happening until somebody doesn't get knocked out and lasts the whole 12 rounds? Then he's going to get beat. Gregory Sams, that's cool, bro. Shazam, peace out, my man. Great discussion. Arc7X Angel with the $2 super chat donation. It's Majority of the money is going to get reinvested always right back into Fighters Rep. So thank you so much, Arc7X Angel, for your generosity. I appreciate your donation to Knucklehead Nation and to help me build Fighters Rep Promotions. Really, really appreciate it. Native Latinos, F. Trump is writing, Tyson Fury has been knocked out twice by Deontay Wilder. It's Deontay Wilder, Native Latinos, but he hasn't been knocked out twice. He's been knocked down. He didn't get knocked out. Although that second knockdown may have been a knockout. But he got back up and they let it ride, so I don't know. Demi Lay is saying he didn't get knocked out, people. He got knocked down. Thank you, Demi. Thank you. Maybe you can, teach Knucklehead Nation the difference between a knockdown and a knockout. I thought Knucklehead Nation, which is you guys, knew the difference. We need to learn, we need to learn. Demi Lay, or rather Arc7X Angel, Fury is the best heavyweight in the world, bar none. I gotta agree with that, man. Who's better than Fury at heavyweight? Nobody. He beats anybody right now. Demi Lay, there's a 10 count in boxing for a reason. I agree, Demi. Preach, sister. Let them know. Or I'm assuming you're a female. I don't know. I might be wrong. Shazam, true, but it was a hyped up match against a guy who had been out for lots of time. I think the psychology of the match was a little different than anything else we've seen from Wilder. Yes, that's true. That's true. I think Wilder took that fight thinking he was going to get an easy win over Fury because Fury had been out doing cocaine and who knows what else for all those years. And he probably thought he was going to come back into the ring and not know how to fight and be rusty. And Wilder didn't work out for him. Get some sleep, bro. I will too, LOL. Was UFC card good? I missed it. Watched boxing. Greg, yeah, it was pretty good, man. That Cowboy Cerrone fight, Gaethje fight was good. It only lasted like 4 minutes. But yeah, it was good. You could check out the video of my reaction to that. I already did the live stream for that earlier in the day. But yeah, my man, it was a good card. UFC, UFC's been coming with it lately. Tom Clark, wow, some very high cues in this chat. I guess women hitting their heads and female symbols. I think, Tom, your IQ may be too high for me at this point at 11:14 p.m. Pacific. Shazam, I am out. It's late. I need some sleep. Have a good night, my man. Thank you so much for joining the chat. Be sure you subscribe before you leave. I want you to always join us. And also, guys, feel free to donate to the Super Chat. Like I told everybody before, all the proceeds are reinvested right back into Fighters Rep Promotions, which is what this channel is for. You guys are helping me build the next generation of combat sport. Thank you very much. I don't know what this person is. Wrote, didn't Wilder win a 12-round decision against Stavern to win the WBC belt? Oh, that's true. That's true. I think but that was one of the few fights where, where Wilder won the boxing match. I mean, let's be honest. Even against, what's his name? Even against Szpilka, okay, anybody with a pair of eyes had Szpilka winning that fight before Wilder blew his head off with that right hand. I mean, you can't be losing to guys like Szpilka, in a boxing match, and expect to do that to everybody. I mean, you're not going to be able to land that big right hand for the rest of your life. You got to have the boxing skills necessary to win a fight. I think that's a problem with Wilder. Juice Bank is saying, you think Fury is the best? Okay, I'm out. Peace, Juice Bank. I'll see you later, my man. If you want to come back and express your opinion, you can feel free to, brother. Arc7X Angel, apparently F Latinos needs to change his name to FIQ points. Oh my goodness. Let's be nice to each other, guys. DJ Daniel. DJ, thank you so much for joining the chat, my man. Much appreciated. DJ wrote, who wins rematch? Wilder, Tyson Fury? I think Tyson Fury, my man. I think Tyson Fury wins the rematch. I always got to go with skills. I always got to go with skills. Fighting is about skill, also about heart, about power. They've both got heart. They've both got power. Wilder has more power. But as far as skills, skills pay the bills, brother. And Tyson Fury has more skill than Deontay Wilder, in my opinion. And I thought he won the first fight. I think everybody with a pair of eyes thought he won the first fight. But, more of boxing's questionable decisions. DJ Daniel, which boxing do you like the best? Showtime, Fox, DAZN, ESPN. I just like boxing. I mean, I think it depends on the fight. I like ESPN, or I guess Top Rank, because Lomachenko, and because Terrence Crawford. I like PBC because of Errol Spence. I like the way DAZN does stuff. Because I like Gennady Golovkin, and I like Canelo. And I like the way they set up their cards. I feel like they always have like good cards with international guys on them, and they're kind of like pitting the international guys against each other. Like, I felt like that last card had a lot of guys from the UK fighting Americans. I thought that was fun. I think it's fun to have, like, to build these rivalries between like countries. Like, that's what makes the fights between the Mexican guys and the Puerto Rican guys so exciting. You bring guys from different countries and they fight each other. It builds like a fun, friendly rivalry. I like that kind of thing. Showtime don't do much anymore. ESPN, DAZN, and Fox do a lot more fights. Yes, my man. Yes, I agree. So, guys, let's see. Do you believe Haney is ready for Lomachenko? No. I don't believe anybody's ready for Lomachenko. I don't think anybody can beat Lomachenko in his weight division. He's already like moving up and fighting bigger guys. And that guy, Luke Campbell, he fought, I mean, he looked a few inches bigger than Lomachenko. I mean, I felt like Lomachenko's already fighting guys bigger than he needs to fight. So as far as people in his own division, no, nobody's going to be able to beat him. The only one with a chance is probably Tank Davis, that's around that size. But no, Haney will get schooled. Just like Regan Diao and all these guys got schooled that tried messing with Lomachenko. The guy's too good. And people talk all this shit about Lomachenko. He's probably the best pound for pound right now. Him and Terrence Crawford. Those are the two best guys right now. DJ Daniel, I love boxing also. I was a hardcore DAZN when it was 10, but now it's 20. Man, they're raising the price on people, huh? Oh, man. Well, they're making money, so they can do that. I guess they feel that they can do that. I don't know. I'm not really a promotional fanboy. I'm more of a boxing fan. And as long as a good fight's on, it doesn't matter to me. Speaking of which, I recently saw that guy Gvadzik, the Ukrainian guy, line up next to that guy from, I believe he's Chechnya, the guy that trains out of Canada, that really scary guy. I don't know if any of you guys saw that. Those two guys are going to be fighting each other. Oh my God. Like, those guys are not like super famous or anything, but Gvadzik and the other guy, man, somebody remind me his name. The guy that does like push-ups with his knuckles and his wrists, and he's in Canada and he just knocks people out. He looks like Wolverine. No, man, see, I'm a boxing fan. I want to watch that fight. That's the fight I want to watch. A lot of people might not even care for it. Beterbiev, that's the guy's name. Artur Beterbiev against Gvadzik, Alexander Gvadzik, the guy that's trained by Teddy Atlas. That's the fight that I want to see. You see what I mean? So it's not really about network for me. It's about what fights I think are exciting. And, man, that's the fight I want to see. That is the fight for me. The Errol Spence fight versus Terrence Crawford, that's what I want to see. Beterbiev against anybody, especially Gvadzik. And yeah, I'm a happy camper. And all these heavyweights need to just fight each other already, because it's getting stupid that they're not fighting each other. So guys, almost an hour on the live chat. Much appreciated. I got to call it a night. I'm going to wrap this up. Please subscribe below if you haven't. We do this every Thursday at 9 Pacific, which is when we predict the big fights for the weekend. And then immediately after the big fights, we go live and we discuss. So definitely join us. Subscribe, like, share, hit the bell notification icon so you know when we're posting. We also do live interviews, and we air our own fights on this channel for free. So definitely subscribe. Buy your Fighters Rep merchandise, and the links in the description below would be much appreciated. And feel free to donate to the Super Chat. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll be back very soon. Next week is Fighters Rep 8, so be sure to tune in or get your tickets at fightersrep.com if you're anywhere near Southern California. Have a great night, you guys. Click the link below for your official Fighters Rep merchandise and join Knucklehead Nation.